Yeah. Yeah. So you need to have this idea. Okay. Just okay. Okay, if you can do this, okay, if you know these things, you can answer this things. So now with this idea, okay, do you have any other doubts? Okay, till now what we have been did. Okay, do you have any doubts? Karma and Rudrana. So once again, guys. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, I got a call. Okay, so I mean, so these are the few things. Okay, so what you need to know. Okay, before going to the object-oriented programming principles. So now with this idea, okay, so we'll see the four basic principles of the OOPS. Okay, that is inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, as well as encapsulation. You need to just know these four principles. Okay, if you know these four basic principles of the OOPS, okay, it's more than enough. Okay, so what is the inheritance? Okay, so some examples of inheritance, what kind of questions they might ask you in the inheritance. Okay, same thing, polymorphism. What is polymorphism? What kind of questions they might ask? Okay, so any example on the polymorphism. Abstraction as well as encapsulation. For all these things, okay, these things, okay, I'll be discussing now. So we'll take the first one, that is inheritance. Okay, what is an inheritance is? So in real time, okay, so can you give any example? Okay, can we, if you take any example of inheritance, so what does this inheritance says? That is, inheritance is nothing but, okay, if someone asks, okay, can you define inheritance, you can just say this thing, that is getting the properties or acquiring the properties. Okay, simple words. Okay, use the simple words and say, that is, I should get the properties of one class to the another class. That nature, okay, that process is what we call it as an inheritance is. Okay, so getting the properties of one class to another class is what we call it as an inheritance is. So in the inheritance, okay, in this inheritance, okay, you will be having something called as superclass as well as subclass. Very simple here. Inheritance means, okay, so one class has some properties, same properties has to be inherited to the some other class. For that we will be using the concept of inheritance. So here in inheritance, okay, so we will be having something called a superclass as well as subclass. What does this superclass says? Superclass is nothing but, okay, the properties from which you are, from where you are getting the things, okay, is called as superclass. The class to which you are inheriting the properties is called as subclass. Superclass, okay, is nothing but the class, okay, from where you are getting the properties. Okay, so consider, okay, I have a superclass by name person class. Okay, consider I have a super class by name person. Okay, so I have a class person. So already we have been declared this person class. Inside this person class, okay, I have been declared few data members like integer name of the person. Okay, then string, sorry, a string name of the person. Okay, then you have integer height, weight, all these things. Okay, consider these are the few properties what we have for a person, and we have some methods also. For time being, okay, let us have these properties. Okay, then one more property, let it be string color. Okay, and we have few methods also. Consider we have few methods also. So like this, we have different properties. Now, same class. Okay, so now this is a simple person class what I have. Now I should represent an employee as a simple Java class. I should represent an employee as a simple Java class, or I should represent a simple student as a Java class. To represent student as a Java class, student is also a person or employee is also a person. Okay, so here that student will have some extra properties. Hey, ಯಾವನೋ ಅವ್ನು mute ಮಾಡ್ರಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀ ಏನೋಪ್ಪ. So we have a simple person class. Now I should represent a simple student as a class. Okay, I should represent simple student as a class. For that, what I'll be doing, I'll be writing a class student. Okay, student is also a person. Student will also have name. Student will also have height. Student will also have a color. But student will have some extra properties. Okay, along with this thing, okay, we'll be having some extra properties. So along with this thing, okay, so what I can do is, okay, same properties I can declare it here. Same properties I can declare it here. So instead of declaring the same properties here, okay, instead of repeating the code, what I can do is I can just inherit the properties, or I can just get these properties from the person class to the student class, something similar to this. Okay, by writing just extends, okay, person. So whenever you write these things, all the properties, what all the things person has will be inherited to the student. It will be inherited to the student, like name, height, color. Okay, so it will be inherited to the student, and in the student class, okay, you can give its own ID like integer student ID. So this is one special property which will be given only for the student ID. And marks, okay, double marks, okay, this will be given for a student. Okay, only for students you will be giving the marks. Okay, like this. Okay, we will be giving only these properties to the student. Now the student will have the superclass properties like name, height, color. Okay, all these properties will be inherited. Along with these properties, you'll be having student ID as well as marks, so that I can avoid this repetition of the code. Okay, that is, these properties will be automatically inherited. So I can reduce the number of lines which can be written. Okay, we can reuse the code again and again. So this is what we call it as an inheritance is. That is getting the properties of one class to another class. So here we have one person class and we have student class. So this person, okay, from the person class, we are inheriting the properties to student class. So your person class will become the super class. We call this thing as a super class or parent class. Okay, this is also called as super class or parent class. Both the things are same. And from this person class, we are inheriting the properties to student class. So this student class will become, okay, your student class will become subclass, or it will become a subclass or the child class. Okay, both the things are same. Okay, it will become a subclass or a child class. So this nature is what we call it as an inheritance is. Okay, so that is getting the properties of one class to another class is what we call it as an inheritance is. The class from which you are getting is called as superclass. The class to which you are inheriting is called as a subclass. Okay, just these are the basic things what you need to know in the inheritance. And we have 5 different types of inheritance. Okay, we have 5 types of inheritance. What are the 5 types of inheritance we have here is, okay, that is 5 types of inheritance. So what are the types you have? You already know these things, I guess. Okay, that is single level inheritance. So second one, what we have is multi-level inheritance. Then we have multiple inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. And the last one, what we have is hybrid inheritance. So these are the different 5 types of inheritance. What we have single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, as well as hybrid inheritance. So in this, okay, single level inheritance example, okay, I have been written the example here, that is getting the properties of one class to another class. This is what a single level inheritance is. Okay, so person class, okay, from the person class, okay, we are inheriting it to the student class. Okay, here I have only one level of inheritance. This is what we call it as a single level inheritance is. Whereas in the multi-level inheritance, okay, so after this, okay, you'll be having one more class which will extend the properties of student class. Example, okay, we can write one more class test extends the student. So at that time, your test class will have the properties of person class as well as student class. That is what we call it as multi-level inheritance. Okay, that is single level inheritance. So with respect to class diagrams, okay, we can represent these things easily. So I'll be writing a simple class diagrams here. So to represent the classes as a diagram, okay, we will be using a class diagrams. Okay, so single level inheritance, one class acquiring the properties of another class. Okay, this is what a single level inheritance is. Okay, so here this will be a person class, this will be a student class. This is a single level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance, I have one class. Okay, well, that is I have one class properties which will be inherited to the another class, and the same thing will be inherited. Okay, and the same class from that subclass you will be having one more class. This is what we call it as, okay, that is multi-level inheritances. So here you'll be having few properties. Okay, you'll be having some properties in this class, same properties will be inherited to this class. Okay, and the same properties will be inherited to the third class also. So this is what a multiple inheritance, that is multi-level inheritances. The next thing what we have is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance is one subclass. Okay, so it's that is one subclass having more than one superclass. Okay, one subclass having more than one superclass. This is what we call it as, okay, that is multiple inheritance. Okay, so multiple inheritance with respect to classes it is not possible, but with respect to interfaces it is possible. So this is what a multi-level, that is one superclass having ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರೋದು ಲೇ ಥ. So this is what that is one subclass. I have one subclass. okay, that subclass is having more than one superclass, this is what we call it as a, so that is multiple inheritance is. The opposite to this thing is hierarchical inheritance, that is one superclass having more than one subclasses. Okay, I have one superclass that will be having more than one subclasses. Okay, this is what we call it as, okay, that is hierarchical inheritance is. Okay, hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so this is what the most used in inheritance in Java. So we will be mostly using the hierarchical inheritance only. Okay, so this is what a hierarchical inheritance is. And hybrid inheritance is, it is a combination of all the different types of inheritance. Okay, that is what a hybrid inheritance is. Okay, it's a combination of any different types of inheritance. Okay, that is what we call it as hybrid inheritance. So in single level inheritance, okay, single level, multi-level, multiple hierarchical as well as hybrid inheritance, this multiple inheritance is not possible with respect to, is not possible with respect to classes. Okay, only with respect to classes it is not possible. Okay, with respect to classes. So with respect to interfaces, we can achieve the multiple inheritance, but only with respect to classes, this multiple inheritance is not possible, because here we have something called as constructor chaining. That constructor chaining fails. Because of that reason, okay, your multiple inheritance is not possible at all. So to means if you want to remember this inheritance, okay, so you can remember the things. Okay, so if there are some any real-time examples of inheritance means, okay, you can say yourself as an example for inheritance, that is you are deriving the properties of your parents. So that is what a, okay, a real-time example of a inheritance. So in this inheritance, okay, so they might ask, okay, why the multiple inheritance is not possible. Okay, they might ask, okay, what is inheritance, types of inheritance, okay, and why multiple inheritance is not possible. So why in the sense is, you have something called as constructor chaining concept. Okay, here we have something called as constructor chaining concept. What does this constructor chaining is? Okay, you know what is a constructor is. Okay, just now we have been discussed what is a constructor is. Constructor is nothing but, okay, it's a special method. Okay, so what does this, it's a special method, okay, which is used to initialize the non-static members of a class. So now I have, okay, I have a classes, okay, where the inheritance has been achieved. So you can take a simple example of these two classes. Okay, consider I have a simple student class here. This is what a person class I have, and this is what a student class I have. Student class I have. So now from the student class, I should call the constructor which is present in the parent, that is person class. For that, okay, we will be using something called as constructor chaining. Okay, in simple, we can say constructor chaining is nothing but calling the superclass constructor. Calling the superclass constructor from the subclass is what we call it as, okay, that is constructor chaining. So constructor chaining is nothing but calling the superclass constructor. Okay, from the superclass constructor. Okay, so you will be having few things. Okay, so why we should call the superclass constructor? Because whenever you do inheritance, constructors will not be inherited to the subclass. So constructors will not be inherited to the subclass. Because of that reason, okay, you must call the superclass constructor. And one more thing you need to take care, to complete the inheritance, okay, constructor chaining has to be completed. Without constructor chaining, okay, so inheritance is incomplete. So to complete the inheritance, okay, constructor chaining has to be taken place, either implicitly or explicitly. Constructor chaining should take place. Okay, so just refer the notes for further information. For time being, just know what is this. Okay, why the multiple inheritance is not possible. Multiple inheritance is not possible, okay, with respect to classes. Why in the sense is constructor chaining fails. The main reason why is constructor chaining fails. Okay, don't say ambiguity, all those stuff. Okay, just be precise with your answers. Okay, why multiple inheritance is not possible? Because constructor chaining fails. So then you should explain what is a constructor chaining is. Okay, if they ask further, okay, so what is that constructor chaining, all those things, okay, you should explain later, okay, about that ambiguity problem, all those stuff. So first reason why the multiple inheritance is not possible is because the constructor chaining fails. This should be your first answer. Okay, So these are the few basic things what you need to know about the inheritance. Okay, what is the inheritance? Okay, and what are the different types of inheritance we have? I think you got some idea about this inheritance, I guess. I don't know whether you got these things or not. Okay, I think you got some idea. Yes. Yeah, super. So this is what a inheritance is. Now the other OOPS concepts what we have here is that is polymorphism. Okay, so polymorphism. What does this polymorphism says? So polymorphism is nothing but, as the name itself indicates, so an object, okay, that is if someone asks, okay, what is a polymorphism? An object showing different states in different stages of its life is what we call it as a polymorphism is. Better example for the polymorphism, okay, if you want to understand polymorphism in with respect to real time, means you can take, okay, that is butterfly life cycle. So you know the things, okay, you have something called as butterfly life cycle. Okay, in the butterfly life cycle, okay, so directly you'll not get the butterflies. Okay, butterfly will be having something called as larva stage. From there, okay, you'll be getting cocoons. Okay, from there you'll get the this thing, okay, butterflies. So you can say simple example for the polymorphism as, okay, that is, okay, butterfly life cycle is a real time example of polymorphism. Okay, if there's someone asks, okay, can you give any example of polymorphism, means, okay, so butterfly life cycle is a best example of polymorphism. That is, here the butterfly will be showing different stages, okay, in different things in different stages of its yarappa rajas silent ಆಗಿರೋ. Okay, so here, okay, so here polymorphism, okay, the best example of the polymorphism, as I said, okay, it's a simple example what can be shown, okay, in the real time. Okay, so you can take, okay, simple butterfly life cycle. So directly will not get the butterfly. Okay, you will be having different stages of the butterfly. Okay, I can show you. Okay, I don't know exactly the life cycle of a butterfly. Okay, let's see the things here. Butterfly life cycle. See, we have something called as butterfly life cycle. So in this butterfly life cycle, you can see the image, okay, how you'll get the butterfly. So we have only one object. See, from here, egg, okay, you'll get the caterpillar. Okay, from this you'll get the different thing. Okay, from this it emerges the things to adult. Okay, so you can notice it here. Okay, we have only one, okay, that is butterfly, which is acting like different stages. Okay, so in the different stages of its life. Okay, so this is what one of the best example of the polymorphism is. Okay, so real time example. Now with this idea on the polymorphism, if I define the if you try to define polymorphism, so we can say that is, I have an object, okay, that is an object, okay, with respect to Java, okay, we can say an object showing different stages in its different states of life. Okay, is what we call it as, okay, an object showing different states. Okay, it will be showing different behaviors in different stages of its life, is what we call it as a polymorphism. One of the example what I have been given is butterfly life cycle, and you can take you yourself as an example for polymorphism. You can take you yourself as an example of polymorphism. How you can take? Okay, I can take a simple person example. So a person will be acting, okay, if he is in his home, okay, he'll be acting like a, okay, is that is, he'll be acting like a owner of his house. Whereas same person, if he goes to, okay, a shopping mall, okay, if he goes to a shopping mall, there he'll be acting like a customer. Okay, same thing. Okay, Okay, so on like this, okay, so depending upon the different surroundings, okay, he'll be behaving differently. That is what we call it as a polymorphism. Okay, so an object, okay, the simple definition of a polymorphism, what can be shown here is, okay, an object will show different stages in its different life cycle. Okay, that is what a polymorphism is. The best example, you can give butterfly life cycle, or you can take yourself also as an example. Okay, so that is what we call it as an polymorphism is. So now with this idea on the polymorphism, so here in Java, to achieve this polymorphism, okay, we have two types of polymorphism. One is static polymorphism, other thing is dynamic polymorphism. Okay, we have static polymorphism, and the second one what we have is dynamic polymorphism. One is static polymorphism, other thing is dynamic polymorphism. What is this static polymorphism and what is this dynamic polymorphism is? So static polymorphism, the best example of the static polymorphism will be, okay, your overloading will be the best example of static polymorphism. Overloading is the best example of polymorphism. And the dynamic polymorphism, if someone asks, okay, what is this dynamic polymorphism, you can say overriding is a best example of polymorphism, that is a dynamic polymorphism. So here, what does this static polymorphism says, okay, and what is this overloading is? So here in simple, okay, polymorphism means, okay, an object should show different stages in its that is, it should behave differently in different stages of life. That is what a polymorphism is. So we have static polymorphism. Example I have been given it as overload. So here, okay, what is this overloading is? Overloading is nothing but, so I'll be writing a method, okay, so we will be overloading usually the methods, okay, method overloading is nothing but we will be writing the method with same signature, that is name will be same. Okay, overloading is nothing but same name, okay, but different signature. Same name, different signature. Signature or the different declaration. Okay, you'll be having different declaration. So this is what we call it as a overloading is. That is, you'll be having same name will be same, but the signature will be different. Okay, so if someone asks, okay, can you give any example of a overloading is? So here we can say, I need to save the contact. Okay, all of you have the mobile phones, I guess. In that mobile phones, I should save the contacts. I should save the contacts. My operation is to save contact. To save the contact. If I want to save the contact, okay, you'll be having different things. Okay, one thing is, so I can save the contact, okay, with single name. Okay, that is string name and the number. Okay, I'll be passing the number. Okay, this is one thing what I'll be doing. Okay, this is the one operation what I can do. One more operation is, I should save the contact. Okay, the operation is same, saving the contact. But for the existing contact, I should add one more number. Or I should add two numbers for a single contact. Okay, that is, I have a single name. For the single name, I should add two contacts. Okay, so two contact numbers. Okay, that is, one person can have two numbers. So at that time also, okay, that number has to be saved under the same name. At that time also, I am performing the same operation stating saving the contact with the same name. Okay, that is string name. Okay, then but this, okay, while saving this, I'll be passing two different numbers. Okay, one is long number one, contact number one, and long contact number two. This is what a simple example. Okay, long contact number two. Okay, so this is, okay, in simple, this is how I can explain the overloading. So I have, okay, I need to perform a same operation. Okay, that is saving the contact. Okay, but to save the contact, okay, I have two cases here. Okay, I can have n number of cases, but here I am explaining only two cases. One is single name and single number. Other thing is, okay, I need to save the contact itself. For a single name, I should save two different contact numbers. So there I can use this concept of overloading. There I can use this concept of overloading. So this is how, okay, I can explain, okay, in briefly about the overloading. The operation remains the same. Okay, so here this save contact is an object. This save contact is behaving differently. Okay, so here it is taking 2 arguments and here it is taking 3 arguments. Okay, so same name. Okay, name is same. Okay, name is same, but signatures are different. Okay, that is, here it is taking only 2 arguments, here it is taking 3 arguments. This is what an example for static polymorphism is. Okay, I think you got what is a static polymorphism and what is a polymorphism is. Do you have any doubt still here? Do you have any doubt still here? Yeah, super. Okay, so if you have any doubts, okay, you can ask me. If you don't have any doubts, okay, we'll proceed further. Yeah. Okay, so super. Okay, so this is what a simple example of overloading is. Now the next thing what we have is dynamic polymorphism. So in this dynamic polymorphism also, okay, here the things will be changing. Okay, dynamically the things will change. Okay, example. So here, okay, the operation, okay, in this dynamic polymorphism. So example, what I have been given here is overriding. I have been given, okay, overriding as an example for dynamic polymorphism. What does this overriding says? Okay, that is rewriting the implementations. Rewriting the implementations. Okay, or rewriting the method bodies or the implementations. Rewriting the implementations of methods. Methods which are present in superclass. Okay, so in the superclass, okay, I'll be having some implementations. Okay, so I'll be having, they'll be giving some implementations in the superclass. Okay, so I don't want to happen the same thing, okay, what they have been given, so I need to change it. Okay, so to change it, okay, we will be making use of the concept of overriding. So in this overriding, okay, what all the things will happen? Okay, so in overriding, what will be happened here is, so example, okay, so I can take one example and I can explain this thing. Okay, so if someone asks, okay, what is an overriding is? Overriding is nothing but, okay, so rewriting the implementations of the superclass methods in subclass. You can say this thing, that is rewriting the implementations of the superclass methods in subclass is what we call it as an overriding is. To perform this overriding, okay, that is inheritance is must. Okay, without inheritance, okay, overriding is not possible. So if there is an inheritance, then only I can override the methods. So why I should override the methods? Okay, so this overriding, okay, so this overriding will be used in the abstraction also. To achieve abstraction also, we need the overriding concept. So but for time being, just know these things. Okay, overriding is one of the principle what will be coming under the polymorphism, where the method will be behaving differently, okay, depending upon the object what you will be creating. So example, okay, I can take a simple example what they have been given in the class itself. Okay, in the class they would have given some examples of overriding. So same example I'll be taking and I'll be explaining the things. Like I'll write a simple class. Okay, stating, okay, let the class name be trainer class. Okay, let it be offline class. Let the class be offline class. In the offline class, I have one method. Let the method be public void take class is a method what we have. In this take class, they have been written some implementation. They have been given some implementation in the offline class. Okay, so in the take class method, okay, they have been given some implementation. Same thing, okay, it has some other properties too. Okay, for time being, I'm writing one method. So I have one more class by name online class. Online class should also have all the properties of offline class. So what I'll do is extends the class. Okay, so the taking the offline classes will be different, but if you want to take the online classes, okay, we need to change few things. Okay, public void. Okay, so here also I should take the class itself. The operation remains the same. Okay, taking the class, but the implementation will be different. Okay, here, okay, we will be having different implementation. So different implementation has to be done. So there, okay, so in the offline classes, to take the classes, okay, we used to use board, pen, okay, all those things. Whereas in the offline classes, okay, to take the class, what I'm doing, okay, I'm using the different techniques. That is, I'm changing the implementation of taking the class. So here, this one, okay, also you can take it as an example of a overriding. So the operation is taking the class, but how I am taking the class differs. Okay, that is what a overriding is. Okay, so but I am changing the task. Okay, I'm changing the task, that is I am doing the task in a different manner. Okay, so this is what a overriding is. Okay, so taking class, okay, in different way. Okay, that is what a overriding is. Okay, are you getting this overriding? Okay, what is this overriding is? Okay, do you have any doubts here in this overriding? ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಂಗೆ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Yeah, so this is what an overriding is. So with respect to, okay, so yeah, if someone asks, okay, can some examples, okay, can you explain all the concepts? First one is inheritance. Okay, so what the real-time example is, okay, yourself is you can take yourself as an example and you can explain inheritance as well as polymorphism. Both the things can be explained. So inheritance is nothing but, okay, you will get the properties of your parent. That is what a inheritance is. Polymorphism is, so yourself, okay, you yourself will act like a different in the different things. Okay, that is, okay, with your father you'll be behaving in some manner, with your mother you'll be behaving in some manner, with your girlfriend you'll be behaving in some other manner. So that is what a simple example of polymorphism. Yourself will show a different faces in the different stages of your life. That is what a polymorphism is. That too you can take, okay, static polymorphism, and you can explain the dynamic polymorphism too. Okay, I have been given a simple example like this. We have n number of examples. So overloading is a best example for static polymorphism, where same name with different signature, writing the same name with different signature. Whereas this dynamic polymorphism is rewriting the implementation of the methods. Okay, I'm changing the implementation itself. So here I have been took one example and I have been explained it here. So with this, okay, so with this idea, okay, you got some idea about the polymorphism, I guess. Yes. So do you have any doubts still here? Okay. Have any doubts? Okay, you can ask me. ನಾನೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇಜಾರು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ರೋ. No doubts. Wow. So this is what a polymorphism is. So now you got something called as polymorphism. The next thing what we have here is abstraction. So the next concept what we have here is abstraction. So what is this abstraction and how to achieve this abstraction? Okay, how we'll be achieving with respect to Java, how to achieve this abstraction. So abstraction, okay, is in simple. Okay, if someone has created a definition of an abstraction, you can say hiding the implementation. Okay, hide the implementation. Okay, just you need to hide the implementation and just you need to show functionality, or the behavior has to be shown. So you need to just show the functionalities and you should hide the entire implementation what you have been used. So that is what we call it as an implementation, that is abstraction. As abstraction, it is nothing but, okay, so we will hide the implementation and we'll show only the functionality for the end user. That is what we call it as an abstraction is. Example, okay, any real-time examples you can take. Okay, so the simple example, okay, where we can demonstrate the abstraction is, so you'll go to the ATM. In the ATM, okay, you'll just give some inputs. Okay, you'll give the card and you'll give the pin. Okay, you'll give the amount which has to be withdrawn. Okay, if you have a balance in your account, you'll get the response. Okay, you'll get the money. There, to use the ATM machine, just you need to know few credentials. Okay, if you know those credentials, okay, so you'll be getting the amount. Okay, there is no need to know how the ATM machine is working. Just you need to know how to work with this. Okay, just you don't need to know the implementation what they have been written to achieve that thing. So there, okay, a simple example you can say, that is ATM machine is a best example of abstraction, where, okay, so we'll just use that machine, we'll be not knowing how the things will be internally working. Same thing riding the car. Okay, to ride the car, just you need to know, okay, when to apply the brakes, when to apply the gear, when to apply the accelerator. Okay, if you know these things, it's more than enough. Okay, no need to know about how the engine works internally. Okay, so that is also one more example of abstraction. Or if I want to use any electrical appliances, okay, no need to know about the things, that is no need to know how the things will be working internally. So just you need to know, okay, how to use those things, that is they have been showed only the implementation. Okay, just you can take switch, turning on the fan. So if you want to use the fan, just, okay, you need to know, okay, they have been given the functionality, just you need to switch on the fan. Okay, just you need to switch on the switch. Okay, just if you switch on, okay, the fan will start rotating. Okay, no need to know, okay, how the DC motor works internally. Okay, no, without the implementation also we can learn we can use those things. That is what we call it as an abstraction. As just we know the functionality, we know how to use those things. Okay, but we don't know how they have been implemented internally. That is what we call it as an abstraction. As so to achieve this abstraction, okay, I have been given the real-time example. Okay, so to achieve this abstraction in Java, with respect to Java, to achieve this thing, you will be making use of something called as interfaces and abstract classes. Both the things are used to achieve abstraction itself. Okay, so your interface as well as, okay, abstract classes. Okay, both the things are used to achieve abstraction itself, but using interfaces you can achieve 100% abstraction. 100% abstraction can be achieved using interfaces, whereas by using this abstract classes you can achieve partial abstract, that is partial abstraction can be achieved using abstract classes, whereas by using the interfaces, okay, you can achieve 100% abstraction. So that is what this, okay, this particular, okay, abstraction is. So now what is this interface? What is this abstract class? Okay, so what are the things abstract class consists of? What are the things an interface consists of? Okay, how to achieve these things? Okay, you need to know these things. Just I have been given a real-time example. Okay, what is an abstraction is, and I have been given the definition what is an abstraction is. So abstraction, it is a process of hiding the implementation and showing the functionality. With respect to real time, okay, you can take, okay, that is turning on the fan, driving the vehicles, and going to the ATM and withdrawing the money, okay, using the ATM. Okay, so that is also an example of abstractions. So here to achieve the abstraction with respect to this thing, okay, we will be using the classes, that is abstract classes and interfaces. So now we'll see what is this abstract class and what is this interface is. So here abstract class is nothing but, so here it is a class which is declared by using a keyword abstract. Okay, abstract class is nothing but, okay, a class which is declared by using a abstract, okay, a keyword is what we call it as an abstract class. So why I should use this interfaces and abstract classes? Just to achieve abstraction. To achieve the abstraction, we will be using, okay, these interfaces and abstract classes. Both the things are used for the same purpose. Now, if you take the abstract classes, so why we need this abstract class? So abstract class, what is this abstract class? Okay, just a class with keyword abstract, okay, which is declared using a keyword abstract called as, okay, abstract class. So if you see a keyword abstract in a class, for a class, okay, if you see a keyword abstract, okay, we call it as a abstract class. Okay, example, okay, abstract, okay, class A. So this will become an abstract class. So here in the abstract classes, okay, so usually, okay, if your class is abstract, we can't instantiate that class. Okay, instantiation is not possible. Cannot instantiate the abstract classes. Instantiate is nothing but, okay, instantiation is nothing but creating the object. Okay, instantiation is not possible. Okay, so cannot instantiate this particular abstract classes. So what this abstract class will have, okay, class will have data members as well as member function. Okay, abstract classes will also have the data members and member functions. Okay, but okay, so it can have data members. Okay, abstract class can also have data members and the methods. So abstract classes will have data members as well as the methods, but it can be, okay, the method data members can be anything. It can be static data members, it can be non-static data members. Okay, so it can be anything. Data members can be static as well as non-static. Methods can also be static and non-static. Then what is this abstract is? Okay, why you should declare this as abstract? Okay, when it is mandatory to declare the classes as abstract. So without any abstract classes also we can declare a class as abstract. Without any abstract classes or without any abstract methods inside it also we can declare the class as abstract. But usually if a class consists of an abstract method, okay, so if a class has abstract, that is if a class has abstract method in it, okay, at that time you should mandatorily declare, okay, so at that time it is compulsory, okay, compulsory, you should declare the class as abstract. Without the abstract method inside the class also we can declare the class as abstract, but at that time it will be optional. Okay, just if you want to avoid the object creation means, okay, you can declare it as abstract. But if a class has one abstract method inside it, okay, you must declare the class as abstract. Now what does this abstract method says? Abstract method is nothing but method without any definition, or method without body is what we call it as a abstract method. Okay, so method without implementation or without body. Okay, so method without the body is what we call it as an abstract method. Example, okay, I'll write a method stating, so I'll write an abstract class, sorry, first I'll write a class A. inside this class A, I'll write one method stating public void m1. M1 is a method what I'm writing. And for this m1 method, okay, I'm providing the implementation. I'm writing some body here, okay? So what are the body you want? You can write it here. I'm writing the body. Now, this is a normal class what I have. Now, I need to, okay, at that time it is optional to declare the class as abstract. But if a class has one method without body, that is public void, I'll write the m2 method. And for this m2 method, I'll not provide any implementation. Okay, I'll not provide any implementation for in abstract class. Static methods are not allowed. Who said? Okay, so public void m2. Okay, so I have written one m2 method. So this m2 method, okay, I will not provide any implementation. Okay, if you are not giving any implementation, means you should end this method with semicolon and you should give declare it by using a access modifier. That is modifier abstract has to be used for that method. So now this will become abstract method. So at that time my m2 is abstract method and this m2 method is present inside a class A. Now you should mandatorily declare your class A also as an abstract. Okay, there is no other way. You must declare your class A as abstract. Without that you will end up with the error. Okay, so it will show the error here itself. Okay, either you declare this class as abstract or you provide the implementation for the m2 method. Always you should make sure that, okay, abstract methods has to be ended with a semicolon and you should use a keyword by name abstract. Then only we call it as an abstract method. Okay, method without any definition or method without body is what we call it as a abstract method is. Okay, are you getting this? What is this abstract method? Okay, someone asked a question stating, okay, abstract class static methods are not allowed. Okay, is the thing is correct? You can see the chat. Okay, someone asked a question. Inside the abstract classes we cannot write the static methods. You can write the static methods. Okay, see, abstract classes, okay, we can write what are the methods you want. You can write the static methods, you can write the non-static methods. Okay, so you can write the static data members, you can write the non-static data members. Everything can be written, but static methods cannot be declared as abstract. Okay, that is okay, there is a difference. Okay, you need to know this thing. So here all this is a m2 method. Okay, m2 method is a non-static method. For non-static method, I am declaring it as abstract. Okay, I am declaring the non-static method as abstract. Whereas, okay, static methods cannot be declared as abstract. Okay, we can't write, okay, abstract public static void m3. Okay, at that time, okay, that is not possible. So inside this abstract method, I can write the static method like this. Public static void m3 method. Okay, you can write this m3 method and you can provide the implementation. Okay, you can write the implementation here. You write the body. So what is the body you want? You can write it. Okay, this is allowed. Okay, you can write this thing. Okay, and you can call the things by using the class name. Okay, but you can't declare this m3 method as abstract. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, you need to take care. Okay, static methods is allowed. Yes, static methods are allowed. Okay, but you can't declare the static method as abstract. Okay, if you try to do like this, okay, at that time you'll end up with the error. Okay, so this is error. Okay, you can't do this thing. Whereas inside the abstract methods, you can write the static methods. Okay, you should know these differences. Okay, you should be knowing these differences. So now if my class has a abstract methods, so what is the need of abstract methods? What is it, why I should use this abstract methods? So this abstract method, abstract classes, everything are used to achieve the abstraction itself. That is, you can take a simple example. That is what the example I can give here is. Okay, nowadays, okay, everyone are using smart TVs. Okay, LED or LCD TVs you will be using. In the TVs, okay, for the TV you'll be having remotes. Okay, in that remote, okay, you'll be having some buttons without any functionalities, or you can take any setup box things as well. So in the setup box, okay, you'll be having some color buttons. Okay, red color, green color. Okay, you'll be having the buttons. Okay, in the older TVs, Okay, that is that buttons were not that is for that buttons they would have not given any implementations. Means if you click that buttons also it was not working previously, but in this case, okay, but nowadays for all these things they have been given the functionalities. That is, if I click on that button, okay, it will be performing some operation. So here that is where, okay, they'll be using the abstract methods concept. That is, now they'll be not knowing the functionality, but in the later stages they might give you the functionalities. They might give you the functionality in the later stages. Those kind of methods, okay, you will be declaring it as abstract. So the methods, okay, the implementation at a given point of time, I'll be not knowing, okay, for that method, what implementation has to be given, I'll be not knowing in this point of time. Later, at some point of time, I'll be knowing the implementation. Okay, at that time, I'll be giving the value. Means at that time, okay, I'll try to give the implementations later. So for that, okay, you will be using this particular, okay, abstract methods. So using that only later, I'll be achieving abstraction. Okay, everything will be achieved. Okay, I'll give one more best example with respect to Java only about this abstraction. So before that, okay, just okay, we'll complete this basic concept of abstract classes. Okay, you got this thing, I guess. Okay, so what is this abstract method and what is this abstract classes? Now, with this idea on the abstract classes, now if a class is abstract, we can't create the object also. Then how to access? Here you can notice it here. This M1 is a non-static method. So then how to access this M1 method? Okay, this is a non-static method. To access this non-static method, you must create the object. But if, as I said, okay, if you declare the class as abstract, we can't create the object. And here, okay, this M2 is an abstract method. For this, I didn't give any implementation. So where I should declare the object, where I should provide the implementation. So for all the abstract methods, okay, so we'll not write a simple abstract method and will not leave the things as it is. If I write an abstract method, for that abstract method, you will be having at least one subclass. At least one subclass has to be present for a abstract class. Example, so for this class, I'll be writing one more class by name class B. Okay, this will act like a subclass, that is extends class A. So whenever I write this, all the properties of A class will be inherited. That is, M1 will be inherited, M3 will be inherited, M2 will be inherited. All these properties will be inherited to the class B. After inheriting the properties of class A to class B, here what will be happened? Okay, what all the things will be happened here is, so here this is a M2 method. For this M2 method, okay, I should change the implementation. Okay, they are not giving any implementation here. So here I should provide the implementation. To provide the implementation, remove the abstract keyword and provide the implementation. That is public void M2 method and give the implementation. If you give the implementation or give the body here, okay, write the body what has to be given. So this is what a overriding I said. So overriding is nothing but changing the implementation. Here they are not giving any implementation. Here I am writing the implementation, rewriting the implementation. So this is also an example of overriding itself. So to achieve abstraction also you need the, so to achieve the, to give the implementation for the abstract methods is also treated as a overriding itself. So here, okay, I am providing the implementation for M2 method. I just provided the implementation for M2 method. So if you create the object of this B class, okay, anyhow you got to know we can't create the object of A class. So now I'll create the object of B class. If you create the object of B class, in the B class, you'll be having M1 method, M2 method, as well as M3 method. Okay, you access it by creating the object of B class, so that you'll get the things. Okay, this is what an abstraction is. Okay, sorry, this is not abstraction. These is what abstract classes and abstract methods are. Okay, you should have some idea about the abstract classes, then only we can achieve the abstraction. Okay, you got this thing, I guess. Yes. ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಬಾಯಿ ನೋವು ಬತ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಏನಾದ್ರು ನೀವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ರು. సూపర్. Huh? Okay, so this is with respect to abstract classes. This is with respect to abstract classes. Same thing, okay, we have for interfaces also. Interfaces also same thing, similar to abstract classes. But okay, so in the abstract classes, you will be having the static methods, okay, you'll be having the non-static methods, okay, everything will be present. Whereas in the interfaces, okay, so in the interfaces, okay, so we'll be having data members as well as the methods. Okay, so whereas in the interfaces, if you take a simple interface is also something similar to class. Interface is also something similar to class, but inside this interface, so to declare the interface, we'll be using a keyword by name interface, name of the interface. So I'll give the interface name as interface1. So inside this interface, you will be having the data members. Okay, so here this inside this also you'll be having data members. So it is also Java bean, that is Java definition block itself. Data members, and you'll be having methods. Both the things you'll be having. But here the data members will be usually the data members what you'll be declaring inside the interface will be, okay, so static members. All the data members which will be written inside this will be static and final. If you declare a data member, okay, what are the data members you'll be declaring? If you just write integer x, that integer x will be a static variable and it will be a final variable, means you can't change the value for this. Okay, same thing, methods. If you declare a simple method inside this interface, that method will be abstract and public. Access modifier will be public and the modifier will be abstract. The modifier will be abstract. That is what an interface is. Interface is a Java definition block which consists of data members and methods, where the data members will be usually static and final, methods will be public and abstract. If you declare a method, okay, that method will be public and abstract. So then, okay, if a method is abstract, okay, so if a method is abstract, okay, where to provide the implementation for the abstract methods? Okay, so if you want to provide the implementation for the abstract methods which are present inside the interface, you will be making use of something called as implementation class. Here we'll not use the subclass, we will be using a class, and that class, okay, we call it that class as implementation class. That is class A. Okay, so between the interface and a class, you will be having implementation relationship. Okay, that is implements. Okay, that is interface name ITR1. So here we will be providing the implementation for the abstract methods. Provide the implementation for abstract methods. For the abstract methods, okay, we will be providing the implementation here. Okay, are you getting these things? Okay, what is this interfaces? Okay, so in the abstract classes we'll provide the implementation in the subclasses. For interfaces we'll be providing the implementation in the implementation classes. So here now my class A will become that is implementation class. It will become the implementation class. So now with this idea, okay, okay, of a abstract class and an interface, okay, so these abstract classes and these interfaces are used to achieve something called as abstraction. To achieve this abstraction, okay, we will be using this thing. So now how they will be achieving the abstraction using this abstract classes and interfaces. So here in this abstract classes, what they'll do is, so what they'll be doing here is, yeah, So to achieve abstraction using either interfaces or using abstract classes, okay, with respect to Java, just they'll be following three things. Okay, just they'll be following three things. The first thing is they'll identify the common elements. Identify, okay, common elements or the common operations which can be performed, methods, and place those things in abstract classes or interface or abstract class. Both the things, they'll do this. Okay, first thing, okay, they'll identify the common methods and place those methods inside the interfaces or inside the abstract classes. This is what the first thing what they'll be doing. So the next thing what they'll do is they will provide the implementations. Okay, so they will give the different implementations, give different implementations. They'll be giving you the different implementation in the implementation class or in the subclass. Implementation class or the subclass or subclasses. If it's abstract class, they'll be using the subclasses. If it is an interface, they'll be using the implementation classes. So after this, they'll be using a simple class. Okay, so they'll be using simple factory class. Okay, just to access those things. Just to, okay, so just to access, okay, they'll be using some intermediate classes. Access the methods, they will use intermediate class. Intermediate classes. So using this intermediate class, okay, so they'll just hide the implementation what they have been given, and they'll just give the access to the intermediate class. Using this intermediate class, okay, we need to call, okay, just if I call these things, okay, some operation will happen into the intermediate class and it will implement, means it will be executing the appropriate what according to the operation what you are giving, means according to the input what you are giving. Okay, so it will be executing some logic, okay, what you have been written in the intermediate class, and it will be giving, it will be hiding the complete the backend, okay, the backend, okay, where the abstract classes will be there, okay, where the implementation classes will be there, everything will be hidden. So if you know JDBC, so in the JDBC they would have implemented, okay, in the same manner, okay, they have been achieved, okay, using the abstraction only they have been achieved this JDBC. Because using JDBC you can communicate with all the RDBMS applications. You can communicate with Oracle, you can communicate with database, that is DB2, you can communicate with MySQL, MSSQL, DB2, PostgreSQL. For all the that is RDBMS applications you can communicate, but they are using different mechanisms to communicate. So there, okay, they are using the concept of this abstraction. If the JDBC is done, okay, you can link, okay, you can come, you can link both the things. But if the JDBC is not done, okay, so I can't help you guys. Okay, so if the JDBC is not done, okay, in the JDBC classes, okay, I'll be doing those things. Okay, I think I haven't started the that is J2E classes. Okay, in the J2E classes, okay, I'll be explaining, okay, how the abstraction will be achieved. Okay, so because, okay, to achieve this thing, okay, to get the communication, you need some as drivers. Okay, that drivers will be database dependent. Okay, that will be given by the database people. So there the database people, okay, they will be providing the implementations for the interfaces which are present in the JDBC. So there, okay, we can achieve the abstraction. There we will be achieving the abstractions. Okay, so we can say, okay, what are the things we'll be using in JDBC's abstraction? Just we'll be calling the methods, it will perform the operation, but you don't know how the operations will be performed. So everything is abstraction in the APIs, okay, in the APIs or in the Hibernates. Okay, we can say everything will be abstraction, because we'll be not knowing the function. We'll just know if I use this method, this will happen. But you'll be not knowing, okay, what implementations they have been written internally. As a developer, you should know those things. Okay, but for the end user, okay, that is for the end users, what they need is, okay, just okay, it should do the task. Okay, the task has to be completed. So for that, okay, so just use those methods, the task will be completed. That is what an abstraction is. Okay, are you getting these things? Okay, what is this abstraction is? Okay, how to achieve the abstraction? Okay, so abstractions can be achieved using, okay, interfaces and abstract classes. Okay, don't say the things. Okay, according to the example what the Imtiaz sir has been given, okay, you will say the things. Okay, we can achieve the abstraction using switch cases. I should not listen the answers something similar to this. So to achieve abstractions, you must make use of, okay, that is interfaces and abstract classes. Okay, either you can go for interfaces or the abstract classes. Okay, if I use interfaces, you will achieve the 100% abstraction. Whereas if you use interface, if I use the interfaces, you'll get the 100% abstraction. If I use the other thing, that is interface, sorry, abstract class, okay, you'll not achieve the you'll achieve the partial uh, thing. Okay, you'll be achieving partial abstraction. Okay, so that is about the abstraction is. Okay, so you got these things, I guess. Okay, what is this abstraction, all those things? Yes. Okay, if you have any doubts, okay, you can ask me till here. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. You don't have any doubts, means everyone should clear this interview. Kare Sandeep Raj, you don't have any doubts? Mhm. Then you know everything. Simply, I'm doing grooming, I guess. I didn't get. Okay, someone said something. I didn't get. Can you explain? Please explain the concept of factory class with an example. Okay, Sakib. Okay, I'll explain those things, Morris. With an example only, I'll be explaining it to you now. So I'll explain this. Okay, so yes. Okay, I only know like little SQL. Okay, what are the things I know? Okay, I'll explain the things. Hmm? No worries. I don't know much concepts in SQL. Okay, what are the things I know? Okay, I'll explain the things to you. Sandeep, okay, you can drop me a message, okay, about the interviews. You can we can talk later. So no worries. Okay, so here, yeah, they asked, okay, to explain the concept of factory classes. Okay, how to use a factory class. So I'll show the things with some example here. So here you consider, okay, I need to achieve something called as abstraction. So what I'll do is, okay, so I need to achieve this thing, okay, using abstract class also I can achieve, using interfaces also I can achieve. So I have one, consider I have one interface. This is an interface. So this interface name, I'll give it as driver. This is a driver interface what we have. And why, what is this driver, sir? Okay, now that is to get the communication. Okay, so I have one simple driver interface. That driver interface has some implementation classes. It has some implementation classes. So this implementation classes, okay, between the class and an interface, you'll be having the implementation relationship. So I'll achieve the implementation relation between these two things. Okay, these classes, okay, implementation relationship, I'll be writing. So here between these two things, as you know, okay, you'll be having the implementation relationships. So you should get the dotted lines. So there is an implementation relation between these things. So now I have a driver class. So this is a driver, okay, driver interface, and it has one implementation class by name, okay, that is Oracle driver. Oracle driver. We have one more class by name MySQL driver. Okay, and one more class by name DB2 driver. So here, okay, what is this driver is? So in JDBC, to get the communication, we need something called as drivers. Okay, you need something called as drivers. So I am writing a simple driver, okay, driver which is an interface. Inside this driver, okay, so to get the communications, okay, that is to interact with the databases or to interact with the RDBMS application, okay, so you need to perform few tasks. So to perform all these tasks, okay, what they did is, okay, they have been written some methods, okay, they have been written some methods. So all the methods are common, okay, these methods has to be present, okay. So to communicate with MySQL also I should do the same thing, to communicate with Oracle also I should do the same thing, to communicate with database 2 also I should do the same thing itself, okay. That is all these operations has to be done. So for that, what these drivers, okay, what this JDBC people did is, okay, we have some common methods. All the common methods, they have been placed it in the driver interface. So all the common methods, okay, which has to be performed, okay, which has to be executed for all the to get the communication with the RDBMS application, they have been placed inside the driver interface. Now if you're using Oracle driver, okay, what the Oracle driver they did is, okay, they are implementing this driver interface so that, okay, for the end user, okay, just they'll be using a single methods, okay, they'll be using a single methods. But if you're using a Oracle driver, okay, the methods of Oracle will be executed. If you're using MySQL driver, okay, what are the implementation MySQL people have been given will be used. If you're using DB2, so what are the implementation DB2 people has been written, okay, will be used.
So this is what the that is abstraction. This is how I'll be achieving abstraction here. So to achieve abstraction, so I have been did this is what I have been placed all the common elements and I have been provided the implementation in the implementation classes. Then I'll be using the intermediate class. That intermediate class is what we call it as a factory class. Okay, so this entire thing I should hide and I should give the access only for that thing. So I'll be giving access to only one class which will perform the operation. So from this class, okay, so I'll be interacting from this class. Okay, so this class will interact with your interfaces and the implementation classes, and you will be interacting as an end user. You will interact with this factory class. You'll be interacting with the factory class. Example, I'll show it to you here. So this is what a factory class what I'll be using, or we can say in our case it will be a simple driver manager class. Okay, it will be a factory class. Okay, here we will be using a simple factory class. Okay, so your factory class will interact with your driver manager. Okay, you will be interacting with your driver interface. Okay, Oracle driver. Okay, so all the things, it will be interacting with the things. And for the end user, okay, that is end user, okay, we will not give the access to the driver. Okay, will not give access to these things. Okay, we'll give access only to the factory class. Okay, for the end user we will be giving. Okay, so for the main method we'll give the access only for the factory classes. Will not give the access to the other things. So I should hide the things. For that I'm not giving the access. So from the main method, so that is, this is what an end user is. Okay, so for end user I'll be giving the access to factory class. Factory class will in turn make use of the driver methods. So inside the factory class I'll be writing the logic. Okay, depending upon the inputs of, okay, that is, here I'll be writing some logic. What logic I'll be writing here is depends on, okay, depending upon the end user value. Depending upon the end user value, okay, it will execute the appropriate methods. Methods. Be executing the methods. Okay, so consider, okay, end user will give you the option stating, okay, I need the Oracle driver. So he'll give some input, okay, saying, okay, I need the Oracle driver. For that, here I'll be writing the logic. Okay, so we are taking some input from the end user so that you'll get the input stating they are connecting with Oracle driver. So you should use the methods which are present in the Oracle driver. Same thing. Okay, so another end user says, okay, I need to communicate with MySQL. If you want to communicate with MySQL, okay, they will give the input stating, okay, I'm using MySQL driver. If you are using the MySQL driver, okay, so here, okay, you have a common method. Just, okay, they'll be invoking the common methods itself, but it depends on the end user choice. Okay, depending upon the choice what the end user is giving, factory in the factory classes they'll be writing the logic to choose the appropriate classes. To choose the appropriate classes they'll be writing the logics. Okay, this is what we call it as, this is where, okay, this is where this is what a concept of factory classes are. Okay, do you want to write a code for this? Do you want to write the code for this in Eclipse? If you want, I can write. Okay, for the same thing, okay, I can implement the things and I can show you. No. Yes. Okay, no worries. Okay, if you are asking, okay, I'll not say no. Okay, I'll do. No worries. Yeah, I'll show. Okay, so same thing. Okay, I'll show you here. One sec. Okay, my Eclipse is launching. So here I'll create a separate factory class. Okay, same thing I'll be doing it here. See, so I'll create a new Java project. ಯಾರಮ್ಮ ಇದು ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರಮ್ಮ. Saying abstraction. Abstraction demo. So under the source, I'll create a new package. I'll give the package name edu dot jspiders dot abstraction demo. Under this, I'll be writing new class. So first, I'll be writing the interface. So I'll give the interface name as driver. So inside this driver interface, okay, I'll be writing few implementations. So here I'll be writing public and type I'll give it as, okay, so you know the things, it is an interface. Okay, you'll be having abstract methods inside this. Public, okay, connect is the method what I'll be writing, connect with the different database. So this is abstract method. Okay, this is a common method which has to be present, so I'm writing this method inside this interface. So for this, I'll be writing some implementation classes. Create a class by name Oracle driver, which is used to communicate with Oracle. Driver. Okay, implements the driver. So if I do this thing, so it will throw the error because, okay, you have some implementation, so you need to provide the implementation for that method. So in the connect method, okay, here I'll provide the implementation. Previously I was not providing the implementation. Here I'll provide the implementation stating system.out.println and then connecting to Oracle. Same manner, I'll write few more classes for MySQL driver. Implements. Driver interface. So here I'll provide the implementation and I'll write the SOP statement stating connecting to MySQL. Same thing, I'll write one more class db2 driver. Driver interface. Provide the implementation here stating connecting to so this is what the thing. Okay, so I have a driver interface and 3 implementation classes for that. Now I'll write one factory class. Okay, so where I'll get the input from the end user. Okay, so end user will have access only for that factory class. So here I'll write a new class in driver factory. In this driver factory, so I'll write one method stating connect to database. Connect to database. So to which database you need to connect? You need to send the input. So from the end user, I'll be sending the input. Okay, so to send the input, okay, you can use any parameters. For time being, I'll be using the simple string parameters. Okay, it can be string, it can be integer, it can be any value. Just I need to take some inputs. Okay, for time being, okay, so I'll be taking a simple string argument. So based on the value, what the end user will be sending here. Okay, so if the s value, okay, if s is equals to the method, okay, so what I'll say is, okay, so consider, okay, if they send the data as Oracle. So what it should do, okay, it should connect with Oracle driver. Okay, so in the factory classes, okay, we'll not do anything, just we'll create the objects and we'll return. We'll create the objects of driver classes and will be returned. That is what the use of the factory classes. Okay, we will not do anything. As the name itself indicates, factory classes are used to create the objects. So from here, what I'll do is I'll create the object of Oracle driver. If they're giving the input as Oracle, so I should create the object of Oracle. So I'll create new Oracle object, that is Oracle driver object, and I'll return this thing. So here, so to return the things, what I'll do is, okay, I'll make use of a interface type reference variable. So interface type reference variable, we can't create the object of interface, but you can make use of the reference variable. We can make use of this reference variable. So from here, okay, depending upon this, I'll be doing the operation. If the input what they are sending, okay, s dot, if it is equal with db2 or if it is equals to with mysql, if it is with mysql, so then I'll create the object of mysql. So here I'll be creating the object of mysql driver. Else is equals to s dot equals one more string stating, okay, db2 driver. Okay, if it is equals to db2, I'll create the object of db2 driver. And from this method, okay, I'll not do anything. Okay, I'll just return. I'll create the object and I'll return the things. Okay, so return the driver. Okay, so depending upon the things, okay, it'll return the thing. So I should return type of a method. So I'm changing the return type of a method. Change the return type of a method to driver. Save this. So initially, I'll give the value for this as null. So what the thing, what my driver factory will do. Okay, what it is doing, just it is creating the objects and it is returning. That's it. End user, as a end user, okay, so I'll be writing everything inside the main method. So I'll create a class. Okay, so by name, okay, main class, okay, end user class. For the end user, okay, so to execute the things, we need a main method since it is a Java project. So I'll be writing the main method. So inside the main method, so I need the connect. I need to connect with database. If you want to connect with database, okay, so no need to worry about what is this Oracle driver, what is this MySQL, what is this DB2 driver, everything is. Just you need to interact with the driver. Okay, just you need to interact with the driver factory, and you should pass the input. Okay, you should say to which database you need to communicate with. So same thing here I'll be doing. So here I'll write the thing stating. I'll give the I'll take some inputs from the user using scanner classes. You can take the input. For time being, I'll directly write the things. So I'll create the object of driver factory because I need to access is equals to a new driver factory because I need to access the connect to database method. Okay, that is a non-static method. So I'm creating the object factory dot connect to database, and it's taking one argument of type string. So depending upon the string value, okay, the appropriate method will be executed. So here I'll collect, okay, I'll take this value from the user stating string s is equals to giving the value as Oracle. User is giving the value as Oracle. Whenever the user is giving us Oracle, same value I'm sending the things to connect to database. And this connect to database, it is returning the object of driver. Okay, you don't know which driver object you are getting. Okay, you will be getting the driver object. So I'll collect stating driver some reference variable d is equals to so and so. Okay, I'll access d dot connect method. So now end user, okay, no need to worry about the things. Okay, so what implementations they have been given to connect with database, no need to worry about all those things. Just he need to access the method which is present in this thing. So if he is accessing the connect to database, and here he is passing some inputs. So based on the inputs what he is passing, so the appropriate thing will be executed. Now if you try to run these things, okay, you can notice it here. So it will be connected to, okay, the driver, okay, Oracle driver. Since you have been passed it as Oracle, see it is connecting to Oracle driver. Same thing if you pass the string value as db2, and if you run these things, so now since you have been passed it as db2, it is connecting to db2. So what implementation they have been given, no worries. Okay, just I need the job has been done. So in the factory classes, okay, I am interacting as an end user, I am interacting with only factory classes of factory classes. Just we are taking some inputs and we are performing the operations. Okay, so that is what this of abstraction is. If you want, okay, you can take, okay, this factory classes will be that is, okay, for end user, okay, you can take so to achieve this thing, example, you can take a simple switchboard. In the switchboard you'll be having different keys. You'll be having the different keys. Okay, that is, you'll be having different switches. If I press first key, okay, fan will on. If I press second key, okay, that is light will on. If I press third key, another light will on. Okay, there, okay, for the end user, okay, we have been given only switches, but the implementation what they have been used, okay, so inside that wiring will be the driver factory. What are the wiring? The driver factory. So how the wiring is done, no need to worry about the things, just you need to use that thing. Okay, end user, just you will be using the switchboard. Okay, so you'll just turn on the things. Okay, fan will turn. Okay, if it's if you turn on the switch of a bulb, okay, so bulb will glow. Okay, so like this, okay, they are using the concept of driver factories here. Just it will create the object and it will give the things to the end user. Okay, we will be using the things. Okay, so that is what a factory classes is. Are you getting this thing? Okay, it is calling. Okay, so as an end user, okay, you'll be having access only to the factory class. You'll not have the access to the driver classes. Okay, just I'm interacting with the end user. Okay, so I'm creating the object of this thing. Okay, I'm to database method. Okay, I'm just calling the connect to database method. So connect to database method is taking one argument of type. So if a method is taking some argument, you need to pass the same type of argument. So I'm passing the argument. So if the string, okay, if the string is containing db2, if the string is containing the db2, so the control, okay, so db2 I'm passing, so db2 will go to driver factory class. Inside this driver factory class, okay, so s will have the value as db2. So here we'll check, Okay, DB2 equals to Oracle, false. DB2 equals to MySQL, false. DB2 equals to DB2, yes, condition is true. So here it is creating the object of driver class. It is creating the object of driver class and will be returned. Okay, and the same driver class object will be returned. So I'm if a method is returning some value, should collect it. So I'm collecting it here and I'm calling the method using this reference variable. I'm calling, okay, this is an object. Okay, this is returning a non-primitive data type. So my class drive, okay, the method which is present inside the driver factory is returning the object. It is returning the object. So only I'm collecting it by using the interface type and I'm calling the method. Okay, that is what the thing what I'm doing here. Okay, you got this? Yeah. So this is what an abstraction is. Okay, this is what the thing. Okay, what you need to know about the abstractions, all those stuff. Okay, and the last thing what we have here is, okay, so encapsulation. So what does this encapsulation say? Is encapsulation is nothing but the last one is encapsulation. In Java, okay, so if you're using a class, it is an encapsulation. As the name itself indicates, encapsulation is nothing but grouping the elements together. Grouping the elements together. Or okay, so encapsulation is nothing but binding the data members as well as member functions together into a single entity is what we call it as an encapsulation is. Okay, so here, okay, how the data members and member functions has been binded. Okay, you can notice it here. Okay, this is a person class. Inside the person class, I am binding the data members. So that is what an encapsulation is. Okay, a simple example of encapsulation is your class. Class is an encapsulation of that is data members as well as member function. That is binding of data members as well as the member function into a single entity is what we call it as an encapsulation. So to achieve the encapsulation, okay, if you write a class, that is an example of encapsulation. So everything, okay, all the classes are an example of encapsulation, but to be specific, you have something called as Java Bean class, okay, which is an example of encapsulation, which is the best example of encapsulation. So inside this encapsulation, we have different things. Okay, we have private access modifier, public access modifiers, all those things. Okay, about this encapsulation, okay, we will be seeing it in the coming class. Okay, before that, okay, a small task will be, I'll be giving you a small task. So what will be the task is, so what are the things I did in this class? Okay, except abstraction. Okay, so abstraction, I haven't written the code for this. So except for this, okay, for all the other things, okay, you should write the codes. Okay, I'll share you this text file. So for overriding, overloading, okay, so accessing static members, accessing non-static members, for all these things, okay, you try to write a code. Okay, and you should write the code. Okay, so submission is not required. Okay, so if the submission was not required, you will not do that. So I'm not you can recall many things, and if you have any errors, you can drop me the message in the group so that I can help you out. So only I'm asking you to do. Okay, so what are the things? I'll share you this text file. Okay, in this text file, okay, I have been given some examples for each and everything. I have been given some example. So you try to do all the examples what I have been given. Okay, by writing some code, you try to do the things. Okay, if you are facing some errors, okay, I'll be helping you out. So encapsulation, except encapsulation, okay, all the other things are done. Okay, so encapsulation, I'll give you an example. Okay, so we'll see the encapsulation examples, all the things in the next session. Tomorrow I'll do the encapsulation and some more concepts of Java. Then we'll be going to Java programming things. So these are the few things, okay, what you need to know here. So with this, okay, today, okay, I'll try to wind up this session. So we'll connect tomorrow only, because after a long time, okay, I'm doing the classes for so long stretch. So I am feeling nervous. Okay, so we'll wind up the session today. So as I said, okay, what are the things I have been did? Okay, for all these things, you try to provide the implementations. So before that, okay, one sec, I'll take the attendance. Means I'll take the pics of this thing. Sandeep Raj. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so we will be seeing the other things in next session. Okay, so if you have any doubts, okay, you can ask me. Do you have any doubts, guys? Okay, if you have any doubts, okay, just drop me a message in the group so I can explain you there also. I can solve the things there also. So that's it, guys. Okay, we'll see the other things in next session. Thank you, guys. Okay, so tomorrow sharp, okay, 10 o'clock you will be having the class. So that's it. Okay, we'll see the other things in next session. Thank you.